I'm Mo,
And I'm Spady,
and this is another episode of Corporate Dropout
where we give you entrepreneurship in real time.
in real time, baby.
So Mo, today's topic is that we're gonna give the viewers to hear out and listen about is the company you keep around you when you decide to go into entrepreneurship. A very important topic. Anything you want to go ahead and do? I know we have a guest today. Let's go ahead and introduce him from.
Exactly. I mean, I'll let him introduce himself.
My name is Lloyd Ford, founder of Creative Group Economics. We have the whole philosophy, 600 people giving $20 a month, that's 12,000 bucks. What could we do with that as far as economic community of black people, advancement, empowerment, stuff like that, just making it easy for us to congregate as entrepreneurs, as people, as one people, I would say.
Exactly. So if you know, and a big reason why we wanted to have him on the show, because the people that are looking at this at our channel, if you yourself are an entrepreneur, and it doesn't matter what city you're in, reach out. We'll give his contact, his social media and all of that stuff at the end of it. Reach out, because all we're trying to do is just build the base, and help each other out. That's all that Corporate Dropout is really about, is helping the next man who has the same struggle or the same aspirations as you. That's what we about.
Now, Lloyd, there was a particular reason why we invited you out today, is because today's topic is the company you keep. Now, I remember when I first went, me and Mo have always, been on the same chord when it came to energy, thinking positive, right, thinking forward, thinking in the future. But when I first came to and was invited to a creative group economics meeting, I immediately knew this group of people that's in that particular room at the time were all like-minded. And what that did for me was it just made me feel like, hey, I can sit here and talk about my business, even though I may not have been in it for a long time. Right. It made me feel comfortable to stand up and let everybody know what I was doing, and ended up getting some business out of it. So sure, there was a particular reason why I brought y'all, and it's because we felt that you understand the importance of having like-minded people when you're experiencing or going through and starting with entrepreneurship.
Right. I mean, one thing I would say we realize being a business owners is, even being in this country, everything that's going on, one thing that we all missed out on was group economics. There's something that we need in order to survive, especially in the capitalistic world that we in right now. We got to know that nobody do it alone. All these owners and all the white people that own all the money and own a lot of wealth are most of the people that, they use creative group economics. A lot of the people are not going and buying those NBA teams alone. Guess what? They get other people to put in with them. When they have business ideas, they get other people to put in thousands, even millions of dollars.
They don't tell us about that.
Exactly. So, we just see the end result. We don't actually see all the partnerships and stuff that we're going from. So we just want to make sure that everybody knows, especially being black people that didn't have that financial literacy in education, that we know that, hey, a lot of the stuff that we want to do can be done through partnership, entrepreneurship and creative group economics. If we do it right, we can't be afraid to work together. And I feel like a lot of black people haven't been partners and have been scared to work together. One, for ego, because, everybody want to be the big boss. Two, because we just haven't found that hefty median in order for us businesses to collab and really work together as a one unit.
I just want to chime in real quick. I know, Mo, you've spoken about this off camera, but about just the black community in particular. They don't seem to want to work together. Not want to, but I remember you saying something about that.
Well, I know the one thing that we spoke about, I think that ties into this, is the thing that ties us together, right? The thing that ties African Americans and colored people or black people, melanated people of all, walks of life, is the struggle, right? So I think that was good to a certain point, but now we have to, and we're doing it. You're seeing these different movements, Black Lives Matter, Black Girls Rock, just everything.
Empowering
movements. That's what we need, because if I do something that is phenomenal, you then feel disconnected from me now because our only connection was the struggle.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying? So now you feel a way about me because I want to excel. And even if I try to reach my hand back and grab you, if you don't have the mentality that allows you to want to be phenomenal, then you may try to pull me back or down me.
Right.
And it's just it's an issue. You know? It's an issue.
Well, that was the thing that I liked so much about CGE, Creative Group Economics, was that it actually was a group. It wasn't 2 or 3 people. We're talking, how many people do you normally have?
Normally around 30 to 40 people per meeting.
Man, and I just want to let the viewers know that even outside of just the Black community, just entrepreneurship, period, I left that meeting with a confidence in a boost of energy. It was almost as if like you take a 5-hour energy and you just get that boost of energy. That's the feeling that I had when I left.
I appreciate it.
You know, and that's every time I've came. Every single time I've came, that's the feeling I've had. But it's because I was in a room with people who were accepting of what I was doing, and they actually want your business. We want to know, hey, what are you doing?
Right.
And it's like, it's okay to talk about this. Like, nobody's going to sit here and say, well, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? Nobody's questioning me on how I'm going to run my business or why I'm running my business.
Right.
You know, and at the beginning stages of entrepreneurship, I know for me, like, that was really important. Like, I had to be around like-minded people because the first thing people are going to do is question you on, well, how you going to get 401k? How you going to get, you know what I'm saying? How you going to get a pension? How you going to get retirement? How you going to get all these things?
All the negative.
How you even going to get a paycheck? You know what I'm saying? Like, they think about all the things that can go bad, and nobody really tells you what can go good except the people that are what? Like-minded.
See, you got to understand
like projection.
Exactly. You got to understand most of the people that's naysayers, guess what? They're not entrepreneurs. You know, they're not self-starters. They have to most of those people have to see people doing something before they believe. So a lot of time when you got those people, you know, not saying nothing about them, but at the end of the day, you got to realize that that's your vision. A lot of people not going to have the same thing as you. When I first started going to those same meetings in that same room, I was the youngest person there, and it was not over 10 people there. So I was like, one thing that we feel like we got to bring the dynamic, we got the older people that want to pass on the knowledge, you know, the few of them that do. Now all we need is the like-minded individuals like ourselves to go there and actually want to receive it, you know. So I'm saying, hey, we got to piece together the two, you know, and all of them have us by 15, 20 years, you know, but we got to be seeking the knowledge out. And a lot of the grown folks are not reaching back. And guess what? A lot of us are not asking those right questions. So I say, hey, we need to put those things together finally and allow people to be each other's light to that next level, because you don't know what you don't know. And I feel like we have to be seeking for that knowledge from those other people.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm about to say, kind of just with the meetings, kind of like you say, if you felt that warmth in between everybody's, because I feel like we have to be connected, because at no point in time are you really going to get that. And I always bring a solution-oriented mind to the meeting. If you're not talking about a solution, you're not talking about nothing. You know, that's how I feel.
And I'll say this, man, is that the first step is, and that's why the title of this episode is Like-Minded People, because in fact the first step before you really do anything is that you need to build that base of people, so that when you do decide to do something, you know that there's a safe place for you. For sure. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you could be working on stuff by yourself and just getting your confidence up, and you take it to somebody who doesn't have the mentality, and guess what? Dream gone, dash. Because you trust them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing. You trust these people, and they're not negative people. They just going with what they know.
They don't know.
They only go with what they know. They go with what they if they can't see themselves doing it, they tell you, hey man, I don't know if you should do that.
It don't look right.
It don't look right. Right. It doesn't look right from your stance, from where you're standing on you know what I'm saying, from your point of view, which is very important. And you mentioned something like it could be the people you love. It could be somebody you actually care about that'll sit there and question you, and like you said, you snapped your finger. And that quick you could be discouraged and be like, man, let me just go ahead and just get rid of entrepreneurship. Like, period.
And I'll say this is a disclaimer. Don't demonize them. Do not demonize
because
they
they
do
don't
love
know.
you.
They
Well, why
don't.
not?
They really don't know. I tell people you can't be mad that somebody don't have the same, can't see the vision that you see for yourself. And at that point in time, like you can't be mad at them because they can't see it. You know how many people told me before, to speak frank, before we started creating group economics, niggas don't give. Look where we at now. If I would have took that and be like, man, I ain't gonna do this then because people ain't gonna want to give to it, we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't know each other right now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So, we can't let somebody deter you from your vision because they may not be able to see it. They ain't give, like you say, if they can't see it, then it's a fail.
But like I said, I'm going to elaborate because you asked me why not, right?
I say why not, right? Why not demonize those people who are, and we may call them haters. You know what I'm saying? But why not demonize those people? I'm not saying that I'm saying that I did. I'm just saying I want you guys to know back home why you shouldn't, because there's reasons behind it. Exactly. Even if somebody's discouraging you on your dream, that's your baby that you create. Your business is your baby. Like anything that happens to it, you take heed and take responsibility for it. So why not demonize those people when we're so basically invested into our business? Why not? There's a certain point where it's like you don't run yourself into the ground trying to explain yourself to somebody who's not gonna get it in the first place.
Because they feel that way about you.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Like I'm living this because me and my wife, we both, we went to school in the hood, we everything, but some stuff and what I'm doing, she just don't get. Right. And it'll be prime example when I first stopped working and we started creative group economics and I started working on the website. And she was like, "What you working on? All you doing is working on this." And I'm telling my ideas, but she couldn't see it. She was just like, "I'll wait till you're done."
Right, and there's nothing wrong with her. It's just she's not at that same viewpoint,
and I don't blame her,
or at that same stance that you're at. So how can she see what you're doing?
For sure.
You know what I mean? So
because I'm not always so clear in my perception of what I'm giving her as well. So sometimes it's bits and pieces of my thought, and she'd be like, "What you talking about?" And I'd be like, "Let me just show it to you."
Exactly.
So now she got a bigger view, like, "Oh, creative group economics, this is what you're talking
Man,
about."
I'm telling you.
And even some ideas that I bring to this day, she will be like, "They don't make sense." When I used to cut hair, I put people hair in a chili bowl before I cut it. She'd be like, "What you doing? I don't see how this is gonna look good. Wait until the finished product." And then I realized she's a more of a let me see it, and then I'ma believe it more than just like, "Oh, you telling me your vision? I'm gonna be excited with you." She's not one of them. She's like,
well, I mean, what you doing honestly, first? That could be said. We all kind of have that type of situation, and what I'm learning is that once again, it's not their responsibility because it's not their dream. Right. We're asking them because we weren't like that. We might not have had this dream when we first met them. They might have met us and we were in a situation that they were comfortable with.
I was in a different one 2 years ago.
You said, man, brother, you should have been.
So she like, we've been together about to be 12 years, and she like, you a whole different person.
I'm telling you, bro. So we can't be. I ain't gonna say we can't be because, contrary to popular belief, we do feel. You know what I'm saying? Like when our women they don't really, understand what we're doing, and we want them to understand. It's not that we're just oblivious. You see what I'm saying? But we have to understand that, you know what? This is not their dream. This is not who they met. So we just got to do it, and it can be tough in those times. It's tough for me right now. Yeah. But once again, those are the people who are just going to be in our lives, and we have to understand that that's how they look, and they'll get it later on. And that's why it's important to build that network of people who do get it, so you can draw your energy from them.
So the question that some people may have, because what I'm thinking right now as a viewer, how do I get around those kind of people? We know for one, creative group economics is one of those things. But if you're asking that question, well, you guys are telling me something that y'all probably already know if you've started, your own business. Mm-hmm. Well, how do you get around like-minded people so that you can keep going, and what's the benefit of it? Well, one of the things you can do, find people that make you feel good about your business. Mm-hmm. They don't even have to be an entrepreneur, honestly. Mm-hmm. Just find people that make you feel good about your business. It could be somebody you least expected. It could be the cousin you ain't speak to in 5 years. But if they sitting there buying from you, telling you, man, you got the best shirts, I done bought authentic jerseys and you got the best stuff, and they're complimenting your business. Stay in contact with those people, because those are the people that'll keep you going, and your business will grow. It's substantially being around those kind of people, or just staying in communication, keeping yourself around like-minded people. They, like I said, they don't have to be an entrepreneur. It could just be somebody that makes you feel good about what you're doing. Because I know, like, for example, with me and you, Mo, when we bounce energy back and forth. So whenever something's going on with myself or something going on with Mo and business isn't looking good from his perspective, I'm sitting there like, dude, you just did such and such views on your YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, he's like, dang, I did. You know what I'm saying? Now he has a boost of energy, that same energy that I was referring to when I left the CGE meeting every time I've came. Not even just the first time, but every time I've came. Sure. It gives you more energy to keep going. It's more fuel. Because as human beings, we just naturally fatigue, no matter what it is.
Exactly.
You could be a writer and get tired of writing. You understand what I'm saying? So you just tend to fatigue, but there's certain things and there's certain people that if they make you feel good about your business, continue to stay in touch with those people. It's very important when you're an entrepreneur. Because, not saying that they don't question your business, but because some people just have yes men. We understand that. People do have yes men. But what I'm saying is, Mo question, some moves that I might make that really don't make sense, but I'm so caught up in my business. But I'm willing to listen to him because I know he's like-minded. Next thing I know, I take the advice, and then I end up getting a sale, or I end up picking up a new client, or I end up, getting a contract extension. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's the benefit, and that's how you stay around like-minded people. So if you're wondering how, all you got to do is find the people. And from my personal experience, I found people that made me feel good about my business, and I continued to stay in touch with those people and took their opinion and their advice.
So, and what I'll say to this, and I'll say this about that, right? So then the next question might be, well, what if nobody that I know is like that, and how do I find those people? Well, then the answer would be that you need to make sure that you're not wasting any interactions, right? Which is going to be the topic of our next episode. Man, we want to thank Lloyd for coming through. Man,
I appreciate
let the
it,
people know. Let the people know where they can reach out, how they can reach out to you, man.
Well, I tell everybody, we Creative Group Economics, everything. We creativegroupeconomics.com. Definitely go download our app. We do free advertising for all black-owned businesses. If you know one, have a black event, definitely put it on our app at Creative Group Economics in your Apple Store or your Android. We're doing also coming out with our first voting app. We call Houston Votes. Everybody that's in our area, definitely get used to and get ready to download that. We want to put everything together, not only economically, politically, all included. So if y'all have anything, definitely leave us a message at Creative Group Economics.
It was a pleasure having you, man.
Man, I appreciate it, man.
Pleasure.
Like-minded individual.
Absolutely.
See y'all at the next meeting.
Hey, man. Well, look, and just like that, I'm Mo.
I'm Spady.
And this has been another episode of Corporate Dropout.
We out.